Jack and the Beanstalk. Adaptations by Francesca Bofill. Illustrations by Arnell Ballister. Beep! Once upon a time, there was a widow who had only one son. His name was Jack, and he was a very good boy. Mother and son lived in a little house in the country, and they were so poor that they had only one goat. Every day, the goat gave them a little jar of milk for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Beep! One day, the goat stopped giving milk, and the mother said to her son, "Jack, you must go to the market to sell our goat. Try to get as much as you can, since you know that we have nothing else left." Jack tied a rope to the goat's neck and went to the market. Beep! When he arrived in town, a farmer approached him and said, "Do you want to sell that beautiful goat?" "Of course, that's why I came," the boy answered. "Well, look here," the farmer said. "I have this bag of beans. There are no better beans in the whole world. Take as many as you want in exchange for your goat." Poor Jack took as many beans as he could. He filled his pockets and his pouch. He gave the goat to the farmer and then returned to his house. Beep! When he came home, his mother said, "Son, you look very happy. You must be bringing me a lot of money." "No, Mother," said Jack. "I bring no money at all. I bring beans like you have never seen before." The good woman was very angry and exclaimed, "Oh, poor me! What a silly son I have!" And then she threw the beans out the window. Beep! The next morning, when Jack went to open the window, he was surprised by what he saw. On the spot where the beans had fallen now grew a plant so tall that the stalk climbed high, as if it were a tree. Beep! Without thinking twice, Jack climbed up the stalk to reach the tender bean pod that grew on high. But the more he climbed, the higher the pods were. He climbed so high that he could no longer see his house. Tired of climbing, he stopped and found that he was in a country very different from his own. Beep! He saw an old woman sitting on a stone, and the old woman said to him, "I've been waiting many years for you, Jack. Don't you know that your father was a very rich man, and that a giant stole his fortune? The giant lives here in a castle, and you must go there to recover what belongs to you." Beep! Jack arrived at the castle door and knocked. The giant's wife answered. "Run away," she said. "There's a cruel giant here." "I'm hungry," Jack replied. "Let me stay and eat." She gave him food, and before the ferocious giant returned, hid him in a bowl. "Smells like meat," the giant yelled. "It's a goat I cooked for your dinner," the giant's wife replied. The giant ate and then began to count the money he had stolen from Jack's father. Beep! But there were so many coins that the giant grew tired and fell asleep. He snored so loudly that the entire castle trembled. And that very moment, Jack got out of the bowl, he took the bag of money, and ran away from the castle as fast as he could. When Jack had climbed halfway down the beanstalk, he heard terrible screams. It was a giant who had woken up and now was chasing him. But Jack was fast as lightning, and in 5 minutes he reached the bottom of the great plant. Beep! Then the old woman touched the stalk and, pulling out a magic wand, said, "Go away, Beanstalk!" And the beanstalk disappeared in a flash. The giant suddenly found himself very high up and with nothing to stand on, and he fell down, 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 never to be seen again. Beep! Safe and happy, Jack took the bag of money to his mother, and thanks to him, they never lacked anything as long as they lived. After this, Jack's mother always said, "How lucky I am to have such a clever boy."